Hey, hello everyone, this is Kevin here. I'm gonna do a quick review of this project called Jatujak. I think we've mentioned uh, somewhat about this project previously in some of our videos, but I think hopefully this video I can give you a more holistic point of view regarding this project. It's a completed project which we had the chance to visit about I think a couple of months back during one of our property tour. So we are able to see for ourselves firsthand the quality of the finishing, which is actually pretty good, and also we are able to understand for ourselves the location and really what's the driving forces that's going on in that area that's developing that will give you as an investor a good potential return if you were to invest in this development. So let's just dive right into it. So some basic information. Alright. Anyway, this photo is really the completed property. Right. So the project is about 40 meters to Jatujak Park. Um, it's a quite a massive park. It's a green lung. Well, for people who are staying around parks, right, it's actually a good thing. You will see that during weekends the locals will actually hang out in the parks. So it's definitely a plus point for people who are looking to stay in the condo. I think another thing that is important also is the accessibility of the development. Right. Most of the time when we buy condo, we advise people to buy near uh, BTS station or MRT station. And for M Chatuchak, right, you don't just have one station, you actually have two stations that you can access to. You can either walk to MRT Kampangpetch, which is on the blue line, or you can go to BTS Mochit, which is on the green line. So you're pretty much well covered because the blue line actually brings you down to Ramanai, Asok, or you're just one station away from Bangsar Grand Station, which is the ultimate transport hub that we're building up for the Southeast Asian region. And then for the green line, right, BTS Mochit actually can lead you down to Ari. You can go 6 station down to Siam, which is the main shopping belt. You can go to further on. You can go to Tonglo, etc., etc. So in terms of north south and east west, you're pretty much covered. So it's pretty rare for you to be able to find condos that are located near interchanges because generally interchanges are of a more rare appearance than any of the other stations. For shopping wise, right, you're only about 10 minutes away to Central Lat Prau. So Central Lat Prau is this major shopping mall, a very huge one that serves the people that are staying in the Lat Prau Pioneer area, which explains why this area is actually very very popular with locals. Two main reasons. Number one is of course you want to avoid the massive jam by staying in central Bangkok, and number two is also because you can literally find almost everything there, but without having to pay the kind of rent that you have to pay if you were to stay in central Sukhumvit, for example. Right, so that's why a lot of people are choosing to stay further out, especially in the Lat Prau area. In fact, if you were to go to Central Lat Prau over the weekends, right, even if the car park is so massive, it's actually full and people are actually queuing up to go inside to park their cars. Yep, and we're also pretty near to the expressway. It's actually quite important because I figure quite a number of the tenants here will probably be the locals. Either they bought for their own stay or they're renting, and then a lot of them will drive, and a lot of them actually do not stay in Bangkok. So during the weekends, they might be driving out. They will have a car. So for those with car, right, they will always want to stay in a condo that have pretty easy access to expressway, so that you can avoid navigating all the heavy traffic before hitting the expressway. You can go to any parts of Bangkok easily. I think another thing worth mentioning about this project is M Chatuchak is actually pet friendly, right? I think there are probably in terms of comparing projects in the area, you probably have about 4 to 5 projects on hand that you can compare, like maybe the line Chatuchak, Pahan Yotin, so on and so forth. But not just comparing on the price. This project is pet friendly. That makes it very very unique and rare. There's only a handful of condos in the market out there that you can find that are pet friendly. And you need to be pet very friendly. You need to be near to a train station. That's even more difficult. And M Jatujak kind of satisfy these two criteria. Quite a number of people actually own dogs in Thailand. So let's say if I am an owner of two dogs, which I actually have quite a few friends in staying in Bangkok, which like that of that profile. I can only stay in the house, and if I ever need to move into a condo, I can only buy condo or rent condo that are pet friendly. So there lies the uniqueness of this project called M Jatujak. Right, when you are selling, you probably not just be competing only on price only, but the fact that you are pet friendly does give you an edge if you were to put it on the market versus the other developments around the area. Okay, so this is just a quick screenshot of the location. Yep, as I mentioned, you're actually near to the green line and blue line. The significance of the blue line is one station up north, you go to Bangsar Grand Station, which is the major transport hub, which is where the high-speed rail terminal will be, eventually linking you up north to China and down south to KL and Singapore. That's a grand plan, but say while waiting for the high-speed rail to take place, this grand station will also be the ultimate transport hub where majority of the train lines will actually intersect and come here. They're moving the bus terminal over as well, so you can imagine the sheer amount of transformation that will happen, the economic activities that will take place. There will be offices as well. It's a huge integrated project that will complete in phases. So just imagine if people start moving there, officers start moving there. Hopefully, it will bring the surrounding areas to flourish as well. So that's why you're only one station away. Well, if let's say example, if you are working down in the Ramanai area offices, or you work in Asok, there are also a number of people who choose to stay in Lat Phrao because of the more affordable rent. And you're actually not that far away. I've tried taking the train from Ramanai to Kampangpetch. This takes you about half an hour or so. Right, Kampangpetch is also the station where if you're familiar with Jatujak Market, you want to go to Jatujak Market, right? That's the station to get off as well. So that's the blue line for you, and of course the green line, right? You can actually walk to Mochit station, and from Mochit station, right, you can actually take down south to Ari, to Payatai, right, which is an important station, Payatai, because that's the currently the interchange where you actually change to the airport rail link that brings you to Suvarnabhumi Airport. And just a few more stations down, you go to Siam, which is the main shopping belt. So as I said, you're pretty much covered. You're staying maybe further bit up north, but to access to central Bangkok, like really downtown, is still pretty easy for someone who is staying around here. And then of course you have your Sirat Expressway, Dongmen Tollway, and 10 minutes to Central Lat Phrao. Okay, I think there's another important slides that you would probably want to take note of. Like people ask, like, if I were to buy, say, for investing, who will be my tenants? There's actually a pretty good catchment area around. You actually have your Bangkok Airways and Thai Airways HQ. There's several banks headquarters as well. Siam Commercial Bank. There's, I think, if I'm not wrong, about 7 broadcasting stations around the area as well. So what I'm trying to say is all these, right, caters to a supply of white collar workers, be it expatriates or the Thai themselves. And then hopefully, if they are looking for places to stay, they will probably want to stay around where they work as well. So that's where you can potentially get your tenants from. Commercial and lifestyle, I just briefly go through. I think Central Lat Phrao, Plaza Lat Phrao, just do a quick search, you'll know that this like a huge and next to it there's also the Union Mall, which is like another version of Platinum Mall, selling a lot of fashion stuff. For tourists, you have your Jatujak Market. If you're there for the long haul, you want to get fresh, cheap produce, then you can try Autocore Market, which is also nearby, just like a wet market. And then upcoming, of course, you have your Bangsar complex. As I mentioned, it's a integrated development, so there will be malls, there will be definitely be restaurants and a lot of stuff there. So you're being surrounded by clusters of economic activities, and hopefully by all these things happening, it actually brings up the demand and the vibrancy in the area, thereby also leading to increase in property prices. Right, we can only go by logic that if this becomes a desirable place to stay, then the value of the property will go up. But nobody can confirm with you how fast can it grow over how long. That's something that we never promise. We can only tell you that you have to just make a judgment call for yourself, and then see which are the good areas that are undergoing major transformation. Then you have a better chance of making a good return on your investment. Okay, so some of these slides, I'll just briefly skip them through. There's some private schools around as well, and also a couple of hospitals that are easily within reach from M. Jatujak, Paulo Hospital. I think there's a new one. This is a new one, Vmut Hospital, Mid-Range Hospital, and supposed to complete this year, 2020. These are a few existing. You're also pretty near to Dongmeng. Not that near to get sound pollution, but it's about 20 minutes by car. Okay, and also they are extending the green line. In fact, actually part of it has actually operated. I think probably when they were doing these slides, it's not open yet. So you can, last time the terminal was at Mochit. If you refer to the left side, there's this red circle, right? And then now they have they're adding more stops. They're still in progress of adding even more stops. So you can go to Hai Lat Prau station, which is connected directly to Central Lat Prau. Well, the reason why we are showing you this, I think you have to understand that also means that with all these stations, right, actually makes it easier for the people who are staying further away, right, to actually take the train to come down to Central to work. And then if they really want to stay nearby where they work without having to travel, commute to and fro that often, then they might want to stay around the Mochit Hai Lat Prau station area, because that's where you have your major malls, your amenities, everything is there, lifestyle is there, so people want to stay around here. Okay, so eventually I think the idea is with the Grand Station jump-starting the entire transformation, it can become like a satellite CBD. You will never replace Saton and Silom, but it will become a kind of like a satellite town. Like as of now, it's more or less like Ari. There's a few offices, but if this area has a more major cluster of offices, you might see more people shifting over here. That's generally how it works. There's an ecosystem that's building up over time. Okay, so just briefly go through Grand Station. I think there's a lot of information out there on the internet. You can probably read out about it. But one thing for sure I can tell you is it's definitely going to happen. Every time we go, the construction is ongoing. It's getting more and more. It's going to start in phases. So I think this year part of it will operate, and then because it's so massive, so they do it by part. So you have hotels, you have offices, you have malls, retail. I'm kind of looking forward to it completing, and hopefully when I go over to Bangkok sometime middle of this year, I'll be able to visit Bangsar Grand Station and see what the progress is like. Okay, so high speed rail, I think we have mentioned quite a lot already. Gateway Bangsar complex. All these are adding on to the activities that are going on. Okay, so I shall skip this. Jatujak Park, right? I mentioned there's a huge green lung space that adds value to the people. So you can see these low buildings at the foreground. That's actually the Jatujak weekend market. Okay, so let's just dive right into the project information. There's two towers. So that yields a total of about 850-60 units. Both towers averages about 32 floors, so you have car park space from level 2 to 7, and the rest of it residential unit. Majority of them are one bedroom, between 28 to 35 square meters, which is quite typical. And then you have your 2 bedroom 40 to 64. 48 is probably on the smaller side, probably like a 2 bedroom and 1 bath. Okay, so these are some photos of the actual completed property. So I'll just briefly just slide them through and you can see. So there's the sky pool at the top. It's quite a lot of green space. Okay, this is interesting. So this is the area where it's outside the lobby. Because it's a pet friendly condo, right? So there's this part on the ground floor where she's actually dedicated to I would say it's like kind of like a hangout area for pets. So if you have a dog, you can actually walk the dog. There's a park area for them to just run around and play. So it's pretty interesting. So there's a pool, throughout area. So that's pretty common, right? So so grand facilities as a sports arena and an urban forest, fitness and yoga fly, BBQ, yeah. Okay, so I'll just briefly run through the unit type. Right, so we'll start with so you can see the 1 bedroom here. Pretty squarish, right? I shall not spend too much time over here, but if you guys want the full entire brochure, again, just draw us a message. Leave us your email or contact number. We'll get in touch with you. We'll send you the brochure and the price guide. That's the show unit. Some pictures. Alright. So they actually did some market research on the surrounding area. So Sansiri have this project called the Line Jatujak Mochit. Launch price 170,000 Thai baht per square meter. Now current price 190. You have your ideal Paho Jatujak, 170 now. M Jatujak is still hovering about 140,000. So the only difference is, of course, by investing in a project like M Jatujak, right, you're buying a completed project. That also means that you will have to fork out the entire sum almost within 3 to 4 months. But having said that, by buying a completed project, that also means that once you take over, you'll be able to rent it out. And they're still running a promotion previously. I'm not sure whether when they're going to stop it. Is for buyers who actually buy direct from developer. They will actually be giving you a 1-year guaranteed rental return of 6%. So that's for the first year, and the property will actually be fully furnished. So that's all you have to do is to just maybe do some basic touching up, dolling up the house, and then you'll be able to rent out the place already. Okay, so if you want to have a better idea of how the interior is like, right, you can actually go to our website, investbangkokproperty.com. We list most of the projects that we market over there in Bangkok. So just do a quick search for M Jatujak. You'll find the listing, project information. So if you guys are interested, you just have to scroll down here, leave us your name, email, and contact number. We'll get in touch with you. Unfortunately, we can't just openly share the price list. I hope you understand, because it's all subjected to change and it's sensitive information. But just get in touch with us. We'll be able to share with you more in depth in person. Just want to show you that there's these videos that we took when we went that time. So there's a showroom for the 28 square meter, showroom for 33 square meter, 1 bedroom, showroom for two bedroom as well, right? So these are the door up units, but of course when you take the handover, this is how it's like. Okay, let me just blow this up. Okay, so you see the furnitures are actually provided, which I feel are good enough for you to rent it out. Unless you are buying for your own stay, then you might want to get better stuff or something that suits your taste. So they actually do give, you see, like even you see the bed frame, they actually provide this for you. Then there's a TV console, all the wardrobes are built in, so it's pretty awesome. Some developers actually do not give this, and this is actually not a standard in Thailand. So for them to be able to offer you something like this, I think is a good thing for people who want less hassle. And some of the units can actually see the, can't remember, is it a river or something? There's a waterway. It's pretty nice if you go to the higher floors. Right, so a simple unit like this, right, so you can see all the kitchens are done and all this. Okay, so that's it for this review. Right, I hope you guys have a better idea of this project. I chose to talk about this project because I really feel that this project has a lot of potential going for it, and I know that the rental demand is pretty decent in that area, especially for this property. The occupancy rate is pretty high. So anyway, if you guys are interested, you want to find out more, do get in touch with us. As I said, you can always just leave us your name, email, and mobile number over here. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. I'll sign off here. If you have any questions, just leave us a comment below, and I hope to see you around. See you. Bye bye.